you. Happy Monday, everyone, and hello, Kamala. So we heard a lot about the wall when Trump was in office, but there's another wall when it comes to the border issue, the one between reality and what the media will report. And it's a wall 50 times harder to breach than the one Trump was building. But finally, it looks like that wall is crumbling like a wicker chair under Ana Navarro. We've all seen the video of a dozen migrants attacking two cops in Times Square. The video seems to have broken through the media moat that protects the left and shown everyone what progressive policies on immigration really look like. And it's scarier than Jesse Waters without his hair and makeup. Yeah. For those who support law enforcement, the images have become like the famous Rodney King video, but in reverse. And it's hard for us to all just get along when we see the people we gave food, shelter, and cash then beat up our protectors. And now the media and Dems act like they suddenly care. Gee, I wonder if it has anything to do with this whole election year thingy. I guess you can't turn the country blue when you're turning its citizens black and blue. And so here in New York, progressives are sweating like AOC trying to make change for a quarter. Take Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, another Soros hand puppet. It was Bragg who decided not to even ask for bail for the attackers, who predictably fled New York upon their release. It's the biggest mess Al's made since someone handed him a sloppy Joe in a vibrating chair. Last week, Big Al gave a hasty press conference trying to clean up his latest mess.
In Manhattan, we do not tolerate or accept assaults on police officers. I watched the tape this week. Despicable behavior. It sickened me and outraged me.
Sickened and outraged, but not enough to do anything about it, the incompetent boob. Now, this is the same Bragg who said in his first day in office that the office will seek dispositions that avoid immigration consequences. That was the cause. And now this is the effect. Cause and effect, Al, just like those cronuts are turning your waistline into the equator. Is it me, or is declaring on day one that illegals have a get-out-of-jail-free card not exactly a recipe for a successful prosecutor? And yet they can't stop creating more incentives. Take New York City's new $53 million program to give prepaid credit cards to migrant families. Literal free money handed out to so-called asylum seekers. Apparently, the preloaded cards are only good at grocery stores, and migrants must sign an affidavit swearing they'll only spend it on food and baby supplies. Yeah, and they also promise to ease up on the assault. Then there's New York Mayor Eric Adams, who rode into office on the promise of restoring law and order, one vegan school lunch at a time. Adams could rescind the city's sanctuary status, thereby allowing cops to cooperate with ICE. You remember ICE, who the Dems deemed the worst villain on earth for doing the job the Dems now so desperately need to be done. But Adams, who previously said the migrant crisis would destroy New York, gee, thanks, Miss Cleo, has apparently vanished into witness protection. Could it be that visit he got from the FBI who took his phones and announced they're investigating him? I guess nothing brings on an appreciation of Biden's policy genius like a looming federal indictment. And speaking of migration, there's New York Governor Kathy Hochul, whose use of a turkey baster to inject Botox has her eyebrows migrating to Canada. In the wake of the video outrage, Hochul is now saying that deportation is, quote, worth checking into. Yeah, it's just what New York needs, a bold leader who's not afraid to eventually look into things, but only after her 2 p.m. deep tissue massage. This, by the way, is the same Hochul who has not only abetted the criminal justice reforms that allowed the migrants' release, but signed a law that makes it a crime to even threaten to get someone deported. It's the only thing that keeps me from getting Kat sent back to Detroit. Hochul could also rescind the executive order that bans New York State officials from cooperating with ICE. And she could fire Alvin Bragg for little things like not doing his job. But that'll be a cold day in hell. Maybe that's why her face is frozen. Finally, there's Joe. Let's forget the roughly 90 Trump-era border initiatives he revoked when taking office. We know Joe certainly has. He forgets to remove his suit before entering his walk-in shower. Right now, without Congress, Biden could sign an executive order that brings back Remain in Mexico, the simplest, most effective southern border policy we've had. Or he could invoke this measure right from his government website and refer specifically to the Venezuelan migrants. Quote, DHS may also decide to terminate your parole at its discretion for other reasons, such as violating any laws of the U.S. If you stay in the U.S. after your parole expires, officials who encounter you may refer you to ICE for immigration proceedings. In other words, Joe Biden, at his discretion, could simply order these defendants ejected like a grandchild at a Biden family reunion. I know. But he won't, because Venezuela won't take him back. And anything that resembles common sense makes him agree with the big evil orange meanie. On top of this, huge groups of illegals from China were recently seen pouring into the southern border on 60 Minutes. A steady stream right through a gap in the fence. Who could have seen that coming? And so now Senate Dems are cooperating with Republicans on an immigration deal. It even includes building that immoral wall we keep hearing so much about. Sure, they want to make it out of paper mache and cotton candy, but at least it's a start. Suddenly the Dems sound a lot like you know who. It's that same old Democrat specialty. Push a policy that feels good but does bad. Then when it causes predictable chaos, turn into Republicans to try to clean it up. Rinse and repeat. They're chaos junkies addicted to dumb. Joe, Chuck, and Nancy, how about a dose of common sense for once, and when the country really needs it, not when you're scared of being thrown out on your asses. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's smart, funny, and charming, but enough about the guest who dropped out. Here's Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. Her commentary gives liberals dysentery. Editor-in-chief of The Federalist, Molly Hemingway. He recently graced the cover of White Hobo magazine. TV writer and producer Rob Long. And terrorists put her on their watch list. The New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Duke. Tom, always a pleasure having you on the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Very cheery monologue, Greg.
I know. But it's amazing that this guy says he couldn't arrest those people because he wasn't sure who they were. Why not just take them all in? They're a gang, and then figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, the mayor, now they're giving the free money, which is probably better spent if you hand it directly to them than handing it to these non-governmental organizations and everybody else. The amount of waste you can see just walking from here over to Grand Central. They have migrants coming out of the hotels right now.
Right.
And then this border bill, which you got Republicans that are preaching to me. I mean, what's his name? Dan
Crenshaw?
Yeah, he's Dan-splaining me. Oh, you got to read the bill.
Yeah.
You got to read the bill. Oh, it's in the details. I'm not going to read the bill.
No.
I don't trust the bill. There's already laws on the border. Who needs another bill? It's already against the law to come into our country, and they're not enforcing that. So I don't need somebody explaining that to me. And I have looked at the bill. 5,000 people a day. That's like if you want to stop shoplifting, and then you're like, okay, let's build a shipping and receiving dock just for the shoplifters, and they can steal 5,000 a day. And after that, we're going to shut down the shipping and receiving and say, you got to go around the front, and you got to steal the old-fashioned way.
You know, that is a great analogy.
I mean,
It is. But the problem with this bill is I'm not even sure what you're saying is correct because I haven't read it. I'm not sure it's 5,000 a day, but it's not my problem not to know that, right? I didn't read the bill, Molly. I don't know how anyone could, and yet these jackasses put it out there, and then they say it must be passed immediately. And it's on you. It's on you for not reading it. And that just pisses me off because to Tom's point, you know, I'm not playing that game. I'm not going to, like, ingest this bloated monstrosity because I don't trust you at all. Anyway, what do you say?
Yeah.
I just, like, babbled.
They negotiated this bill in secret for months. They wouldn't let anyone know what was going on. Then they release it under dark of night, and they say, you have to pass it immediately. The problem was Senator McConnell and Senator Schumer, what they really want is funding for Ukraine.
Right.
And they said that we'll pretend to care about the border if you give us what we really want. And the most of the money in this bill, in fact, goes to Ukraine.
Right.
But they forgot that they were supposed to at least pretend to care about border security. And instead, it just codifies all these things that they're already against the law. So they're actually expanding what is possible in terms of breaking our laws to cross into the country. And it is a joke. I mean, I've been in politics for a long time. I have seen a lot. I have never seen anything as offensive as what they're trying to do with this sham border bill.
Wow. That's a high bar. I've seen a lot of offensive things. I just saw something in the Senate the other week. Oh, my God, yeah. By the way, they never caught you, Rob.
You know, weirdly, they did catch me. Yeah. And thank you for posting the video, by the way.
Hey, congratulations on your Fox Nation special.
Thank you. Yes.
It's
called A History of the World in 6 Glasses. It stars some very, very funny people, hosted by Jim Belushi and the great Dan Aykroyd. Lots of fun. Fox Nation. All you got to do is sign up for Fox Nation for the rest of your life, and then you can watch it.
So, I also enjoy the holiday hobo look that you're doing.
Thank you. Well,
Yes.
I grew it because I was preoccupied reading the bill, which I've read.
Doesn't it bother you how this process works?
Well, here's what 2 things bother me. One thing bothers me is the bill itself. If you're going to let 5,000 people in, that is going to trigger the trouble. But 5,000 is fine. So that means that everything in the border is so messed up that there are people who think, well, 5,000 is about as good as we're going to get. Like that's considered
Yes.
a win
Yeah.
for people who, which is bananas, right? So Americans are thinking, well, 5,000 seems like a lot. Like actually, it's not a lot. It's like it's 50,000. So you're welcome. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
The second thing is like, what if you're a family in New York City and you're kind of like struggling a little? What you should do is you should go to Mexico, sneak in the border, come back to New York, where they'll put you up in a hotel and give you money.
Right.
Why would you not do that? Why would
Exactly.
Why would families a little bit who are struggling financially?
That's your holiday vacation right there. Kids, we're going to go to Mexico.
And then we're gonna come back.
We're going to stay
in a hotel.
in Times Square.
Yeah, right.
The #1 tourist attraction in the world.
And we're gonna get a free little gift card every week from the mayor. Like it's
Exactly.
kind of great. I don't know why more Americans aren't doing that.
You know, right? Because you know why? We're Americans, Rob. And we don't game this system, right?
Well, I don't know. Slow down, Tiger. Yeah, we do. But
We don't ride the rails like you do.
well, we don't ride the rails, right? We make little marks. Nice lady makes pies, like that hobo marks. No, we do all that, but that's because we're Americans, and that's the privilege of being an American. Like if you're not an American, you could either have a generous welfare state or you can have open borders, but you can't have both.
That is true. Kat has said that many times, Kat, and I would quote you on it, but why bother? Because you're right here. You're right here. You know what it feels like? It does feel like 2 things. One, we are watching votes on reparations, but this is a reparation for people who don't even live here, right? And number 2, what Rob's talking about is gaming the system. Anytime the Democrats create something, they never think about how a system can be gamed.
Well, incentives govern everything, right?
Yeah.
So if there's an incentive to come here, why wouldn't people come here?
Yeah.
And to pretend like that doesn't exist is just absolutely absurd. I mean, if you can say, okay, don't come here, but if you do, we're going to give you money and a place to stay, then the first part doesn't matter. It's like, do you ever have a friend who's always going on and on and on to you? Like, oh, my ex won't leave me alone. Like, he's texting me all the time. He won't leave me alone. Oh, my God, he's so annoying. But she leaves out the fact that every time she gets drunk, she's sleeping with him. There's incentives for him to do it, so what she's saying doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Thank you.
And the thing is, we talk about incentives, but the disincentives aren't there. Meaning that if you just send somebody back, that's just like playing a game of pinball. You just play another game. So they come back and they come back over again. You send it back. You need to put them in a worse position than they were if they hadn't broken the law. So maybe we do send them to Anchorage. You know what I mean? And then you punish also the DAs. You send the felons to their block. I mean, you have to create a disincentive for behavior.
I think the people who are most surprised by this are probably the migrants.
Yeah.
If you explain to them what's happening, they must think to themselves, wait a minute.
This is too good. This is great.
Am I being punked here?
Yeah, exactly.
This can't be true,
You're
right?
giving me free stuff.
No,
a
this can't
phone?
be true because the countries they come from don't offer any of those.
Yeah,
perks.
exactly. Well said, Hobo Man.
Thank you.
Up next, Nikki Haley in a sketch is guaranteed to make you wretch.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.